Ah. Jai Ma, Namaste. Yeah, welcome to this online satsang today. Maybe someone can just quickly write me if the sound and the video is okay. I think it works all fine, but it's always nice to hear if everything works. And yeah, I just want to invite you to arrive as you are, exactly as you are. If there's any emotion, any physical discomfort or mental hyperactivity, whatever there is, it's completely and utterly loved that it's here right now. And I felt the last half an hour that something is working on the throat chakra. So if it's for you already here live, or for the ones who will see the satsang later as a recording, like I often feel that, like as if it's in my system, but knowing that it's not mine and not suffering, so to speak, from that. And so I still don't know what will happen with that, but I just wanted to mention that I feel that something is working on the throat energy center in a sense of, I would say, lovingly inviting a more pure, more authentic, less filtered maybe expression of what is that, what you are, without needing to label that, without knowing, oh, I call this now that, or I should be more talking louder or whatever, it doesn't have to mean that you mentally know what your true authentic expression is, but to just see if you can step by step trust more what wants to come through you. All good. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So I want to start with a mantra, like an invocation, I would say, from the ashram, from Ammaji, from my teacher, which I often use in the beginning of a satsang or in the beginning of a retreat, to just really pause for a moment and to even more offer everything at the feet of the divine, in the sense that whatever wants to come through here today is just what is expressing through this form out. It's not mine, it's not my personal opinion or knowledge. And actually the better I manage to step aside, then the purer this expression can come through. So I want to pray for that and invite you to just feel the mantra. If you don't know it, then just maybe you can be with the sound, and maybe in your heart find one theme, anything which comes up. Don't think about it a lot, just whatever comes up now as that what you bring today. Offer that at in the Indian tradition it's called to offer it at the feet of the divine, but you could just offer it to the higher self, to love, to pray for support in that theme, so to speak. Dhyayamo dhavala 𝗕𝗃𝗃 snigdha-bhanga-vilokinim bhagavatim mandasmita-srimukhi vatsalyam-tavashinim sumadhvam sankirtana-lapini Shyamangim madhusikta-sukti amaitanandatmika Ishveri. Guten Abend, Michaela. Namaste. Jema. And you can either just have that theme in your heart during the satsang, or you could also, if you want, write something in the chat box as just mentioning that theme, so it's more consciously even held here, and maybe something can be said through this body here. Or you could ask a specific question for that, or whatever you want to do. I'm here to just be with all of us in that sacred space of satsang, of being together in the truth of this very moment. And what is really important for me here is that we are all on one eye level. Yeah, there's no higher or lower in this oneness. Yeah, how could it be? How could one person be higher than another? Then there are again two. Yeah, so even though there are different maybe talents or qualities which express through each individual person. And one person is a very beautiful tailor and knows to sew very extraordinarily, and one person can write really good poems or whatever it might be. You know, there's so many different things in which we can be quote-unquote better than another person. But it doesn't mean that we are higher as in the worth. Yeah. So for me, that's very, very important. That maybe by grace today there's the possibility that something can be said through this form here, which is hopefully helpful for you. But it doesn't mean that there's anyone who is higher than you yourself. You are that divine spark yourself, with your own beautiful individual expression, your talent, your way of being. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you even have to be able to name a talent. Yeah, it could be just how you are, just as you sit in your garden, you're making this world more rich, this nature more loved. Yeah, so that's very, very important for me here. Okay, Michaela, you're writing something, but I'm not understanding it. Can you maybe write it? You can write in German. Du kannst es auch auf Deutsch schreiben, and I will then see what I can say to that. But it has to be more clear so I can answer to that. Yeah? You're so loved with whatever you want to share. But I think there is a message missing because it starts with something where I don't understand. Take your time. I will keep on talking a bit, and you just take your time to write the whole thing, so it makes sense to really look into that. Okay? Ja, lass dir ruhig die Zeit und schreib's an einem Stück oder auch in mehreren Nachrichten, aber in Ruhe auf, dass ich es dann verstehen kann und darauf antworten kann. Ja? So, yeah, whatever your expression is, without needing to label it, welcome it. Yeah, and how you can welcome it is that you kind of, from that focus which often looks outward, out into the world, see if you can turn 180 degrees and look within. What is there actually? What is here, maybe as even pain or uncomfortable emotion? But really look, what is there? What do you carry within? And sometimes we have to unmantle several layers, that maybe we just find that pain within, or emotional pain, or even physical pain, and then we are with that very lovingly and not pushy, but just really comforting. And just by being that, being with that, holding that, we're inviting that to soften. It is allowed to be here, exactly as painful as it is, but we are inviting that to kind of let down a bit the guards. Like if I'm always tense and in pain and kind of protecting myself out of some trauma or some belief which is there are always very good reasons why this protection has come into place. So the idea is not to break down these protections, but to really listen to them, feel them, have compassion for them. And then slowly but surely you might find that little girl or that little boy inside crying, or with whichever emotion there is. Very gently, respectfully, you can then see if you can get closer. You don't have to get closer. Really respect that boundary of that little boy or girl. But make sure that he or she hears and feels that you're there. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here, and I'm here, or I'm trying to be here in a way that feels safe for you. So tell me how far away you need me, or how close can I get to you. I'm just here for you. Really with a lot of time and patience, these little girls and boys in us, they need so much patience from us. So much love and care and tiptoeing, like really being 1 millimeter at a time, offering, asking if that's okay, getting a bit closer. really unmental and discover what is there inside of you. Listen to that child's voice. Sri Lakshmi Ma Jai Ma Naina Kema Kema Jaya Sri Lakshmi Ma Jaya Bolo Ma Radhe Shyama Radhe Shyama Bolo Ram Radhe Shyama Radhe Radhe Shyam Bolo Ma Neftuna Neftuna Kema Kema I still don't understand what you wrote, dear Michaela. So, yeah, I encourage you if you want to write it again. And if not, then you are also so loved, and whatever you wanted to share is just held in this healing space. And what comes here also with the expression, with a more and more free, authentic expression, is sometimes we might allow a more free expression, but then the mind comes in through the back door with some sort of expectation, in a sense that, oh, now that I'm freer here, or that I'm less limited, something should happen, or this should have this or that effect. Yeah, and that's just not the case. Yeah, in a sense that we can always only do our best of the moment. Yeah, there are no mistakes. It's the best what we can do in every moment. And in that sense, we can see if we can have the courage and the gentleness and softening to express more and more freely what is inside of us. But let's say just for the sake of expressing it, just for the sake of living the divine, being the divine expression. Not because that should bring me money, or bring me fame, or bring me love from someone, appreciation from someone. Yeah, in a sense that, yes, if there's just this this divine vessel, this flute, let's say this bamboo flute, and then through the breath of God, through that divine spark, music is coming out of that flute. Yeah? And that's it. That's already the beauty. Whatever music comes in each moment, you as flute, you can quote unquote enjoy that music coming out. Yeah? Doesn't matter if there's anybody outside listening. How would it be if, regardless if somebody is outside or not, listening to that music, listening or feeling, seeing that individual expression of yours, if you could just let it go through you, let it express through you. In a way, you could say, trusting that this is it. There's nothing more to gain from that. If something comes as a reward, yeah, that's wonderful. You can very open-armed receive that, yeah? But don't expect it. Don't cling to any outcome in that sense. What if just by being that vessel and expressing that through the music in the flute, through the stitching of the tailor, through whatever talent comes through you, in this very moment you are in such an intimate connection with God. You are in such an delicious union, being that expression of the divine, being the divine. In that moment, maybe there's nothing else needed but that moment, and the next moment when the next expression comes, where the tailor sits down and just sits and is silent and is listening to the birds. That expression doesn't have to be always productive. Yeah? So really being careful what the mind might make out of these talents and free expressions. In a sense, like, oh, if I could just write freely, then I would be a famous author and would make so much money, and can all happen, or it cannot. Yeah, both is valid. Let it open. It's not up to you. You can only give your best in every moment to connect with that divine spark, with your deepest heart, with this is what wants to come out, and let it come out, and then that's it. Jai Kali, Jai Durge, Jai Lakshmi Ma, Jai Kali, Jai Durge, Jaya Lakshmi Ma. Om Shrim Klim Namah. Om Shrim Klim Namah. Jai Lakshmi Ma, Bolo Mata, Bolo Mata, Ma, Jai Shri Lakshmi Ma, Jaya Kali Ma, Jaya Bolo Ma, Jaya Lakshmi Ma, Jai Bolo Ma, Amma, Amma, Ma, Jaya Kali Ma. When I'm yawning, it's just energy coming through. And what also comes here to say is, when we more and more by grace liberate this expression, this connection to the divine, and letting it come out, so to speak, that you be careful to not make a fixed idea also out of that, like, oh, I'm now the 𝗕𝗏. I'm forever and ever, I will be the 𝗕𝗏, so to speak. In a sense that in that moment, that's wonderful. Really be with that and that talent. And that doesn't mean that your talent necessarily will go away, but maybe just after some years, after some months, or depending on what it is, after 5 minutes, something else comes and wants to express through you. For example, on my path, I have been for a long time an artist, like painting, and in the last, I don't know, maybe 4.5, 5 years or something by now, no more, I think, I'm not sure, like something like that. Time is really difficult to grasp for me right now, but more or less this amount of time, there has been hardly anything related to painting. I mean, I still feel that there's some creativity expressed through this body, but in other ways, not necessarily on a piece of paper or a canvas or with colors in that sense, like before. And it doesn't mean that this is wrong. Like, you could maybe forever be a painter, like an artist, or not, in a sense that it's just about not putting it in that box. Like, the mind is always so keen on, like, okay, now I know what my expression is and now I'm that, and that's putting another limitation again. Then you're only that and not the one. If you are the one, and how the one expresses through that seemingly separate form of the human being, then anything could come through your form at any time. In a sense, to really just be in that moment and feel how, maybe I could say, how do I connect today with my innermost heart? How do I connect today with that deepest place, with the divine, or however you want to call that? Don't expect to find it in the same way always. Sometimes it does appear, so to speak, or the connection happens always in the same way, in the same place, and it's beautiful. But if one day you can't seem to be able to grasp it, to feel a bit lost, so to speak, then it's not a mistake. You are not wrong. You're just looking in the place where it used to be, and it's not there anymore. But it's not gone. It's just sitting over there, so to speak. So make a habit out of that, to really be always flexible, so to speak, not rigid, putting in boxes and that's how it is now, but to really in every moment look new. And then maybe you find in every new moment deep connection and the nourishment through that, in the same way, like with sewing something or stitching, like a tailor. But if one day you feel like, oh, it's not really what it used to be, so to speak, then see if you can look new, maybe, as if you would stitch for the first time. And if this doesn't like kind of quote unquote renew that spark in the moment of connection with the one, then maybe it's another expression now. The same vessel, but another way to express. And that's okay. And like I said before, you can still write me something in the chat box, be it a theme or a question, be it if it's related to what I just now shared or something completely different. It's up to you what you want to share. And so there's no more writing from Michaela, but I hold you just in my heart, and whatever is up for you, that there may be grace which can help to soften and to ease things. And maybe we all can just go to whatever might feel a bit difficult right now, be it mentally, physically, emotionally in our life. And just kind of, as if you would hold your heart and hold that spot, hold that discomfort, hold that theme. And again, just being there. Because whatever is up really has to be looked at. Like sooner or later, it will be inevitable to look at that. And in my experience, it's often more gentle if we decide to look before it gets too strong. Like if we don't look for a long time and we suppress something, it's also loved. Like I completely understand that, but the longer we do that, the stronger the effect can be. Like as if you would have a pressure cooker and you build that pressure and you build that pressure and don't release slowly but surely already some of the pressure till you can open the lid. And in the same way, if we just let it build up and build up, it might maybe not explode in a real sense, but it might be quite a strong thing which brings it then to the surface to be definitely looked at. So my encouragement is always to, even if it's still possible to not look, to suppress it, like why not look? Why not really face what is there? Because if we want to come all the way home, we have to look at everything. There, in this union, in this home being, homecoming, and being that one, if in the end there's only one left, all these themes of the seemingly limited person have to be looked at. It's like this saying where, I'm not sure if I can say that in English, but it's like where a camel or something can't pass through that eye of a needle, like in the sense like if I have to pass through something very narrow in order to be in that one, and not just be in that one, but be that one, everything has to be stripped away at some point. Maybe I'm too little and whatever beliefs, or I'm higher than everyone believes, and everything has to be looked at. every emotional pain, everything where I believe I exist as a limited person, as that traumatized being, or as that with whatever story, as long as there's something which still believes I am that I in that story, I can't be one, because I'm that and there's all the rest. And it's not about you're just bypassing and jumping to, oh, so I'm one and I don't look at anything else anymore and I pretend everything is fine. That doesn't work. Yeah, so it's really about very lovingly, very gently, but very firm, deciding that every corner in my own system, in my own being, where I still, for example, get triggered, where I can still not freely decide to act, but I react. Every story I still believe about myself, I am, for example, in this case, Anushree, I was born there, this is my story, I've been hurt so many times and blah, blah, blah. As long as I still, to some degree, hold on to that story, I hold on to being separate. I hold on to I am that and not the one. And loving yourself, that limited self which is believing that story, while we slowly but surely let go of that attachment to the story. You're like a your little boy or girl which holds very tightly something in the hand, and it's not good for the hand and for the child to hold that so tightly, and maybe it's even something which eventually will bring more harm even. But we won't just rip the hand open and take it out, or you know what I mean? Like, it is about, hey, you're loved as you're holding that so tightly, as you're clenching and are afraid of letting that go. And in that loving, in that holding, in that being, kind of, you're validating the story in the sense that I can understand that you have that story, but how about gently trying to loosen a bit, gently trying to open that hand to let that go. And then from underneath that one, that what I often call golden safety net, is going to catch you as you fall. There's nowhere you can fall in that one. You're always held. Always, always. Satchitananda, Satchitananda, Naina Satchitananda, Satchitananda, Prema-Upa, Prema-Upa, Jema, Satchitananda, Satchitananda, Prema-Upa, Nainano, Satchitananda, Prema-Rupa, Prema-Rupa. And the more and more we can let go of these limiting beliefs, of these ideas which say I'm this isolated island, and this, yes, seemingly, so to speak, isolated island reconnects with the whole continent, with this endless land, this one. Then we are never alone. And there's nothing to be afraid of ever. Of what could I be afraid of when there's only me? And there's only this one. This one which is full of all these divine expressions, these forms. There's no possibility for loneliness. And for sure that is still valid if there are the feelings of feeling lonely or of feeling afraid. I'm not saying that in these moments when we are still identified with a limited person and there is a fear or there's the feeling of loneliness, then really let that be here. Care for that part in you which feels that. Don't say, oh, this is something you shouldn't feel. If it's feeling like that, it's what it is right now in the experiential level. But like I said before, with that hand which then gets caressed and kind of relaxed into more and more trusting, into more and more letting go of these old stories, that what is waiting on the other side is that there's actually nothing to be afraid of. But obviously there's maybe still a path to that, and that's okay. And you always only can walk any path knowing and accepting where you stand right now. But it's also nice to have a vision, so to speak, where the path is leading. If that's anyway something which can be put into words, but because when there's only that quote-unquote Brahman place, there's no words I could say or know or tell you. But where you are is completely perfect. Every step you take with the best of what you have to give in that very moment is perfect. And maybe it can help to know that eventually, ultimately, there is nothing to be afraid of. But as you walk the path and there's still fear, then care for that fear. Go there, take it by the hand, let it be afraid, but not alone in that being afraid. Let it feel lonely, but sit there with that loneliness. Really listening, really loving it as it is. Because it's perfect how it is right now. And still there can be the impulse to keep on walking towards that vision, towards that more and more recognizing that what I truly am, even though I might get triggered once in a while or oftentimes or wherever that is on the path, that what I truly am is not that limited person. You might not understand or know exactly for the mind, like an image to put in a box again, what I really am. But if I truly investigate for example, I can take any story I have. Just pick one story you have about yourself, lovingly. And really be with that sentence or with that story. Allow it to be here and acknowledge that's maybe one or maybe the only one or one of many, but it's a story of you. So if you are that story, it would mean that you're always that story, right? In the sense that, like if I would say about a person, like, oh, I am Anushree, then I'm always Anushree. I'm not sometimes Sonia and sometimes Anushree and sometimes I'm whoever, like, then I am always that. That's what I mean with, if you take that story, that sentence, really let it be here and see, is that story which you believe you are? And I'm not saying that you're not that story, we are just investigating, yeah? But see if that story, what you believe, I am that story, is that always present? In a sense that maybe it's a lot present, if it's a very strong story of yours. But really look attentively. Are there gaps? Is there a moment, looking back, when you think like, oh, but when I was in this moment, this story wasn't there. Like I wasn't identified as this whatever your sentence is, yeah? Or even more regularly, like when you sleep. You might have that story also in the dream, or you might have a dream where a different story is present. Or if you are experiencing deep sleep, is that story there? And I'm not saying to now just throw the story out and pretend it's not there, but really see if the hook or the fundament of that story gets maybe a bit more wobbly, in a sense that, well, it's not always there, so in a way I'm not that story. Sometimes it's there and sometimes it has me in its grip and it's really intense and I act or react because of that. But if I look closely, there are gaps. It's not that I am that. Sometimes this story is present. This idea is present. But sometimes it's not there. So if it's sometimes not there, then it's not you. It's not what you truly are. It comes sometimes for a visit, that's okay. But it's not what you truly are. And so every time now this story comes for a visit, let it be there, like if it is there already, then don't pretend it's not there, but be aware that it just comes for a visit, this theme, this story of mine. It's not what I am. It comes for a visit, and maybe it's a quite intense visitor and wants to eat all what I have in my fridge or whatever, so I have to be really clear in what is really the truth. Yeah, if I have to engage so much with that visitor, so to speak, yeah, it's there and I can see it as it comes and as it is here. And depending on what it is, I can lovingly attend to that. But I don't have to be dragged around by that visitor through my whole house for days. just see now that Hari wrote again here in the chat, and it shows me that my chat, or I don't know if the general chat, was disconnected for some time. So I have only the last message from Michaela, which was a heart and a whale it is, I think, or a dolphin, well, whale. And now yours. So if you can maybe write me what maybe happened in between, or if Michaela, if you wrote something in between, I didn't get it. Yeah, but it's not that I didn't want to answer to something, it's just showing here that it was disconnected and now it's connected correctly again. Okay? So I hope you can still all hear and see me. And yeah. And what comes here really is to make that effort to look closely. There's so many things which we maybe have been taught, or we have learned them somehow in our life, and we are not questioning them. And I just want to encourage to lovingly just question certain things. And if the same result comes, then go with that. But really see if you are questioning these stories or other aspects of your human experience. What can you see now? Like as a child, we are being conditioned and we are learning how to manage to live in this 3D world, and there's nothing wrong about it. But now we can just see if all what we learned so far, if that's true. Oh, okay, perfect. I didn't miss anything. Wonderful. Perfect. And what just comes to share here is that in my own path, I would say, I come to understand more and more how, and I would say that's like always very individual, Like I have in this, here in my website, thebeingsatsang.com, there's under gifts, there's a video which is called Choosing with a Heart method. And there's a PDF to that where I explain how you can ask your own deepest heart for the truth of what is right or wrong for you. So on my own spiritual path, this has been like the tool to more and more really millimeter by millimeter do the steps which have brought me here, and I'm very grateful to have discovered this tool so many decades ago. So if you want, you can check it out there. And so what, like just sharing from my own experience, and not saying that this is exactly how you should do it. Like, you always check for yourself what is your deepest heart telling you and calling you to do. But I find the mix of like a sadhana, like a spiritual practice where there's a focusing of the mind, like be it with a mantra, japa, or be it with a recitation of certain other spiritual texts or mantras. Like a kind of, it's called upasana in Sanskrit, like a focusing meditation where the mind gets really sharpened. Yeah, like in a sense that if we have a lens and we hold it and the sun falls onto it, it like bundles the light in a sense that it can even create a spark to create a fire, because it's making it so sharp, so to speak. Yeah? So like in my own experience, I can really feel the benefit a lot of a regular spiritual practice where the mind gets sharpened and gets put into the place of where it belongs, like that it's the assistant, so to speak, of us, and not the master. Yeah, that we are really gaining control over the mind. And then with that sharpened mind, I really find it's step by step, I would still say, getting easier and easier to investigate inside what is really happening. If I'm having a sharp tool, a sharp mind, I can easier see, oh, I'm reacting right now, for example. Yeah, and then I can see, why am I reacting? And then I can go backwards, because there was awareness present from that sharpened mind of like, oh, because I did that, but there was an expectation, for example, and these are just some examples where I want to say that in my own path, this mixture of a sadhana, of sharpening the mind and then using it to question and to really look if that's still true what we believe. That can make I would say a good combination. Yeah, and I am very grateful for Amaji and also the Swamis in the ashram and everyone who has helped me on my path with that. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you here. And again, you just feel what is your inner calling. If it's just pure bhakti, and that's wonderful. There's no need for a mental acrobatics, so to speak. Yeah. But if you have maybe a quite active mind and have a resonance to what I share, then I'm happy if it works for you like that also. And in the end, like Amma says, all these paths lead to the same oneness. Yeah? It's not that non-duality Advaita is higher than bhakti or any other path. Like whatever your expression, your divine expression, if that what wants to come through is pure bhakti, is just like devotion to that, which in the beginning obviously is in the outside, yeah. But if you really let that oneness express here through you as bhakti, as devotion, and let that fire burn, let it burn up yourself, then in the end all is left is that one, the one worshipping the one. And if that expression of yours is more an investigative nature, then go with that, go really deep into that, sharpen that mind, and then question everything. Not because anything was wrong to believe, but because maybe now it's the time to question it, to really see what is true. And maybe by questioning everything, in the end there are no words left, no questioner, nothing which could be questioned. 𝗕𝗵𝗸𝗃𝗀𝗹, 𝗕𝗵𝗸𝗃𝗀𝗹, ॐ शिव ॐ शक्तिमा ॐ शिव शक्तिमा ॐ शिव ॐ शक्तिमा What I can feel is starting to happen is this flower petal shower, which often happens in the end or towards the end, for integration of really, really grounding, integrating all what has been seen, what has been let go of, and maybe also washing away still some little rests of old stories or whatever was able to go today. And there's nothing you have to do, there's just, well, I'm seeing this shower happening, and it's not that I'm doing it, it's just starting, and then I tell you about it, so to speak, and then if you feel something, then let it just happen, and you might be able to feel how it's going from up to down through your body. And if you don't feel anything, then that's completely fine as well. And then just know that there's lovingly, all this consciousness is being sent to all the cells in the body. So it's not just more like an information here, but as if we would write an email and send it to all the body cells and the whole system of the updates which just have been happening by grace. And as this is washing away, there's some little parts still and integrating and grounding, I will do some mini announcements, how I often do towards the end, and then I will still also sing in the end, and if you still have questions, you can also write them if you want. And we see what wants to happen after this integration. So I'm always preparing a paper because my mind is in these satsangs not really present. So I have something to read to you. So you can always find also all the new dates and everything on their website, beingsatsang.com. And it's a German website, but you can just switch on, like you can go on translate, or you can go on the English flag immediately, and then it translates to English. And you can always also write me if something is unclear, because it's a plugin, so something might, I hope not, I have often checked, but there might be still one phrase which is a bit strangely translated, so if something is not clear, you can always contact me. And so the next satsang on YouTube here, in the same channel of Anushree Satsang, will happen on the 17th of June. So right now I'm doing them every second month in English and every second month in German, so alternating. And you're most welcome to join the German one also. It's the energy is still happening, and the singing is like without language, so to speak, or sometimes some Sanskrit, but it's not necessary to understand really maybe anything with the mind. You could just bathe in that satsang bath, so to speak, if you want. So you're most welcome to join. And the next German satsang, also on this YouTube channel, will be on the 14th of May. And then in English, so to speak, there's right now not so many group events happening besides that YouTube channel, but there's one international, I would say, event which we started doing in the 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗃 here in Spain, which is every second Friday of the month. We chant the 1,000 names of the Divine Mother and offer a group healing through that. So there might be a short introduction in the language of the people who are joining, and then we do that. So that's an international event. So the next one will be on the 8th of May. It's always at 5 p.m. Central European time. Right now, summertime. And then obviously you could always, if you want, contact me if you want a free, completely not binding discovery call, and we could just be together and we could see if there's something where I could support you with more on your own individual journey of that, so to speak, limited person getting more and more closer to like remembering, realizing that it's actually not separate from that one which is there always. And so if you want, like, I just invite you to write me, and we could just see if there's something I can help you with and what this could be. And then there's also the possibility we offer in the 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗃, so in person here in Spain, we offer every month also one event, which in May will be the like a satsang healing sound, like here today, and it's in the 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗃, but it's not streamed, so to speak. So if you are in Spain or if you want to come by, we would be very happy, Hari and I. And so the next one is on the 16th of May here in Oaxaca in Andalusia. And then also you could come for a private retreat, which we offer here in the 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗃, or you could also live outside somewhere we have everything here from camping to 5 stars nearby. So anything what you feel, your heart feels might be supportive right now, you can just let me know. And Also any other idea which we haven't had, you can just ask if we can offer that. Yeah, when I now tune back into the whole grounding process, then I feel that, I would say till the knees, everyone is finished. And when I say everyone, I often also feel the ones who are online later on watching this. So there's just a little bit more love, more attention maybe needed for the knees, and that it can flow also into the lower legs. Lower legs, ankles, feet. If you want, you could even move your feet on the ground, or if you're sitting cross-legged, just connecting to your feet, inviting that consciousness, this energy to also flood lovingly all these cells. And in a sense also that it doesn't have to stop where the soles of the feet are. It's okay if it stops there, or even if it stops here, it's fine. Like if for you it's only possible to feel that it came down until here, then that's okay. That's exactly perfect for you in this moment. But if it's, for example, has flooded through the whole body and has reached your feet, the soles of the feet, tips of the toes, then see if it naturally wants to stop there, or if it just flows on, if it kind of goes over that kind of bodily border into that space which on a 3D level is outside of this physical body, but is it really outside of you? And don't get mental about it, just see if it wants to flow further and feel it as far as it wants to go, 1 millimeter, a few centimeters, half a meter. Whatever's happening is perfect. And if it's not happening, or you don't really understand what I mean with it, that's okay too. Let it just be how it is. And seeing if in this whole embodying we can invite a soft smile, in a sense that not just serious embodying and consciousness has to come down, but feeling that love, feeling that peace and love. Not trying to cling to anything. If that peace and love experience changes, it's okay. See what stays. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Jaya 𝗕𝗵𝗸𝗁 𝗕𝗵𝗸𝗁 And then for the end, connecting one more time with the Jyotirlingam, the column of light which connects us to the endless sky, through the whole chakra system, into the middle of the earth, as something which can help us to keep our focus, to really align with that divine spark, that however you want to call that, in our day-to-day life. And from there, from this alignment, you're learning to more and more trust that what wants to come through from the depth of your heart, that's the divine expression. That's how I can, in the most intimate way, experience and be one with that. In that sense, I want to close with a mantra, which is the Lokaha Samastaha mantra. And it means that may all beings in all the worlds be happy and peaceful. And if I say a little bit more of the deeper meaning from the Sanskrit, and I'm not a Sanskrit scholar, but what I really love is to see that what it really means is, may I, by grace, learn how to connect every day, every moment, deeper and deeper with that divine spark inside of me. And by connecting with that, being with that, emanating that into the world, may all the others in this world, may they also remember, recognize their own light, that they have that too. And may like this be peace and joy on this earth. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.